If you have a Poly TC10 and you want to use it as a scheduler for outside the conference room, you just pop off the back and you can mount this outside the conference room. And one thing to keep in mind is that so the license you use, if you're using a Teams Room Pro license on your device, your Poly, Studio X or G7500, then you don't need any additional license. You can log in the scheduler panel, the TC10, using that same account that your Studio X or G7500 is using, as long as it's a pro license. But one thing to keep in mind is that you won't actually get the option to reserve directly. You'll see meetings on here, but you won't get the option to actually reserve space here unless you go into the Microsoft Teams admin console and turn that on. So that's one thing I ran into. So just be aware of that. So this is what that looks like. If I share my screen here, let me show you in the Teams admin console what you have to do to make it so that you can actually reserve from the device itself. So the Teams admin console, you go under Teams devices and go to panels, and you'll see any panels that you have logged in here. So what you have to do is in the Teams admin console, you have to create a configuration profile. So you can just do add to create a new one. So you add a new one, and specifically this is off by default. So that's why by default you can't actually reserve from the conference room. You only see this stuff. So if you want to be able to actually do it, have people do it from the room itself, then you got to turn this on. People can reserve room from panel. So you can turn that on and then and give it this configuration template a name. So I'll call mine test in this case. So you could set it some other things like default screen saver or screen background and stuff like that. So there's some other things that you can enable in this configuration panel for the Teams panel if you want. So you just say save, and then you actually have to assign it to the device. So if I go to panels, X52, you won't see it there, but if you go to select it and then say assign configuration, and then you can put in the one you want. So if I want to use the new one I created, it's called test. So I can hit apply, and that will make it so that it uses that configuration profile. So once you do that, then you actually will get the ability to manage. Our user can just walk in the conference room or outside the conference room and on the fly reserve the room rather than just seeing the meetings. They'll be able to actually manage them. So you can even, on my configuration panel or configuration profile, I also set it so I can extend meetings from here as well. So I can do that as well. So it gives you the ability to manage it right there. So thank you. Bye-bye.